Good evening, trustees, and welcome to this Sandwich Town Council meeting of the Council as trustee of Sandwich Tollbridge Fund on Monday the 17th of March. The only thing I wanted to point out beforehand is please note there's a large number of museum and archive policy documents that are on here. We've seen them twice and they've been approved twice. So unless anybody has got particular issues with them, apart from semantics and spellings and things like that, they've all been approved. So we should really be relying on the committee that approved them to get them through, if that's okay with that one. So if my clerk is ready, we'll move off with item number 1, which is apologies for absence received, please.
Apologies have been received from Councillor Breen, who is away, Councillor Marie, who has a work commitment, Councillor Morehouse and Councillor Mannett, who are attending a meeting at DDC, Councillor Black, who has a personal commitment, and Councillor Gray, who has a personal commitment.
Super, thank you very much for that. Item number 2 is declarations of interest, and this is to receive any declarations of disclosable pecuniary interest from members in respect of business to be transacted on the agenda this evening. Do we have any declarations of interest, trustees? No, that's a nil return on that one. Thank you. Item number 3 is minutes of the previous meeting and committees, and this is to approve the minutes of the extraordinary meeting of Sandwich Town Council as trustee of Sandwich Tollbridge Fund held on the 13th of January 2025 and to consider any matters arising from those minutes not covered elsewhere in this agenda. This is attachment 1A. Does anybody have any items to raise on these minutes at all? If not, I'll have a proposer, which is Councillor Franklin, and a seconder from Councillor Ridley. Okay. Paul, bless you. All those in favour, please show your cards. Thank you very much. That's been passed. The next one is to approve the minutes of an ordinary meeting of Sandwich Town Council as trustee of Sandwich Tollbridge Fund held on the 16th of December 2024 and to consider any matters arising from those minutes not covered elsewhere in this agenda. And this is attachment 1B. Does anybody have anything to raise on these minutes at all? If not, I've got a proposer of Councillor Franklin. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Chuka. And all those in favour, please show. And thank you, that's been passed. That's excellent. And then to receive the minutes of the Finance Committee meetings held on the 20th of November 2024. Does anybody have anything to raise for the 20th of November 2024 minutes? If not, if you have a proposer and a seconder. Councillor Ripley's proposing and Councillor Fortescue is seconding. All those in favour, please show. Okay, and you've got one abstention.
I didn't go to that meeting.
No, that's okay, I'll let you off this time. And the minutes of the 18th of December, this is the Finance Committee held on the 18th of December 2024. This is attachment 1D. Does anybody have any questions on this one? Is that a question?
I'd like to propose.
All right, so we've got a proposer for these minutes. Do I have a seconder? I'm not here. Okay. Councillor Ripley, and all those in favour, please show. And that's passed. We've got 2 abstentions there, Councillor Tomlins and Councillor Franklin. Yeah. And then the next item is the Finance Committee held in the Council Chamber on the 22nd of January 2025, following the Finance General Purposes Committee. This is attachment 1E. Do I have any queries on these minutes at all? No. I've got a proposal of Councillor Duca, and I've got a seconder, which is Councillor Ungerson. All those in favour, please show. And I've got that's been passed with one abstention by Councillor Franklin. The next item is the Museum and Archive Committee held on the 23rd of October 2024, and that is attachment 1F. Does anybody have anything?
Could I just say that approving minutes in March for meetings that were held in October, it should be more prompt. Some of us have memory problems.
Yeah.
Trying to think back to October is not easy.
Would you like to change the Tollbridge meetings back to monthly?
Yeah, I would. I'll go for that.
Okay. Right.
Well, I think they're too slow myself.
Right, yeah.
I mean, they have finance meetings after the general purposes meeting, don't they? So I think we should go back to monthly.
Okay.
Well, that's not actually on the
I
agenda.
know it's not.
I withdraw my comment.
Yeah. That was quick.
Do I have a proposer for Wednesday the 23rd of October 24? That's Councillor Chuka.
No,
Sorry. Councillor Ripley is proposing, and Councillor Wiles is seconding that. All those in favour, please show. And we've got 3 abstentions here. We've got Councillor Chuka, Councillor Anderson, and Councillor Tom Mills. Thank you. That's been passed. And then we've got the Museum and Archive Committee minutes for Wednesday the 29th of January, and that is attachment 1G. Does anybody have any items to raise on this one?
I've missed that meeting.
You've missed a lot of meetings, Councillor.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
I've had my share over the years.
make a note of Councillor Franklin's inability to. So, could I have a proposer and a seconder for this? And I've got Councillor Ripley who's proposing, Councillor Fortescue seconding. All those in favour, please show. And we have 4 abstentions and 4, so that has been passed. Thank you very much. And item number 4 is public participation. 20-minute session is set aside for members of the public to make representations at the meeting in respect of the business on the agenda and other matters if time permits. Individual representation should not exceed 5 minutes. Written notice of the desire to exercise the right to speak together with the topic to be addressed must be given to the town clerk prior to noon on the day of the meeting. Do we have any members of the public?
Yes, we do.
Excellent.
Christine Glynn would like to speak.
Oh, indeed. Do we know Christina? We do. Okay. Oh, Christina Glynn, would you please like to take to the floor and address the trustees, please?
Thank
Are you
you.
happy standing there, or did you want to come
No,
up?
I'm fine, thank you.
Superb.
Okay,
You have 5 minutes starting now.
good
And my
evening.
assistant will time that, please, because I haven't got my phone on me.
I didn't have time to write a proper speech, so I'm speaking from rough notes tonight, and I will email a transcript to the RFO tomorrow for inclusion with the minutes.
Thank you for that.
Better that than leaving the following unsaid for a further 3 months, in my opinion. I'm speaking before you tonight about the agenda, which at 299 pages is overwhelming and negatively impacts public engagement. If this is an outcome of moving from monthly to quarterly meetings, and it appears it might be, then please could the agenda be published further in advance in order to make it more accessible. My second point is that there is no action log despite a long list of outstanding actions, such as 1. Carried forward standing order items that should have been addressed at the annual meeting of the trustee in June 2024, specifically SO5C numbers 9 to 17 inclusive, where the agenda stated, and I quote, to note that a review to be undertaken and a report to be produced to the trustee at a future meeting. At the time, there was no indication of which future meeting this referred to. I have checked and not found these items on any subsequent agenda to date. So, by the time the trustee next meets, a whole year will have elapsed without these items being addressed as required by the standing orders. Further, in June 2024, it was also noted that the standing orders themselves should be revised, but there has been no action taken as far as we are aware. Number 2, the Finance and Assets Working Group, which is tasked to work on the relationship between Sandwich Town Council and the Tollbridge Fund, and I'm hoping will deliver transparency regarding museum costs and funding, has not met since September 2024, which gives the impression to the public that the Town Council and the trustee do not have an appetite for increasing financial transparency in that regard. Number 3, there is little mention of a plan for the Sandwich Archives. The Undercroft was converted for the archives at considerable cost. We were told this would enable public access to the archives and should also enable local artefacts to be returned from the Kent archives, but it is unclear what progress has been made or what the future plans are, bearing in mind that the responsibility for the stewardship and access extends beyond Sandwich insofar as other local parishes had also domiciled their archives in Sandwich. I'm sure there are other points that should be on an action log, but that's all that came to mind today. I would very much appreciate feedback concerning the points I've raised. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, obviously, if you're able to send that transcript through, and then the only trouble is it might not be until the town clerk comes back, I'm afraid. So it might be a couple of weeks wait, I'm afraid, to get your full answers. But thank you very much for those. I've made notes myself as well, and I'll get in touch with the assistant town clerk.
Yeah, I do have a list of what those points are, but there wasn't really any point in reading them. They're in the standing orders.
Indeed, thank you very much for that. Okay. Thank you for that. That's, item number 5 is the payment schedules, cash book and bank reconciliations. 5A to receive the Sandwich Tollbridge Fund payment schedules for the end of November, end of December 2024 and mid-January 2025, and that is attachment 2A, and I think that's 2B and 2C for those ones. Does anybody have anything to raise on the expenditure transactions at all? Councillor Anderson.
Yes. I note item 280, the Duncan and Graham Partnership report on the condition of the Empire Cinema. I'm not aware that that report has been circulated. I presume it will be circulated, and when will it be circulated, and to which bit of the council?
Yeah, I'm not too sure myself. I do know the property manager is working across several different assets at the same time. I did speak to him last Friday, and he did say that he's working on a much urgent matter to do with the cinema at the moment, that he's going to bring to council quite shortly. But we can ask and see if that report could be available to trustees.
I haven't looked yet, although I am a member of the Heritage and Townscape Committee. I would have thought it would be appropriate.
Indeed, that's correct.
But that will be on Wednesday, and I don't know if it's on that agenda.
No. Councillor Tukin,
I was just going to say, we do need to make sure that we follow the right governance route. Let's not forget the Empire Cinema is an STBF asset, so it's within this domain we should be discussing it. I've spoken to the property manager, I think Councillor Wiles has as well recently, on a couple of occasions around the report that's been done and also his engagement with the Empire Cinema, and he's definitely acutely aware that he needs to bring a report to to a future meeting and is working on one at the moment. So the issue, I suppose, is if it doesn't come to the committee, if it's to the full the full meeting of the trustee, then we only
Postponed
meet.
it for 3 months.
Yeah.
But
Unless-
it sounds as though it's appropriate, it might be appropriate for the
extraordinary meeting.
finance.
Yeah.
Indeed, yeah, that's correct.
I think the sooner, I mean, you know, I take the point about things not being fully discussed from the member of the public who's just given us a 5-minute talk, and I think it's important that councillors are kept in the loop as well.
Oh, most definitely, I agree with you. So, yeah, would you like to just make a note of contacting the property manager as to when that report could be brought forward, if that's possible?
Yeah. I'm just worried about the amount of work that the property manager has taken on,
Yeah.
because at the Monkswell Nature Reserve, he's got involved in that now, and I think that should be outside of his remit at the present time. I think he should concentrate on the actual properties that we own,
Oh,
because otherwise I
definitely,
think he's spread himself too thin.
yeah. I didn't know he was involved in Monkswell at all, so
No.
I thought we had a warden that was sorting
Yeah,
that.
we do, but he's for some reason the town clerks must ask him to get involved, like for the grant, because that's already taken care of, the grants and everything, and the
Exactly.
warden.
Yeah.
So I think.
Oh, sure, yeah, I'll have a word with him.
Otherwise,
So-
I think he's spread himself too thin and building a big workload.
Indeed. I'm in the Guildhall tomorrow, so I can have a word with him. Thank you for that. So, did we have a proposer and seconder for the expenditure transactions 2A, 2B and 2C at all?
I have a proposal.
Oh, Councillor Chuka's proposing those and Councillor Franklin seconding those. All those in favour, please show. So that is one abstention from Councillor Anderson, and that's been passed. Thank you very much. 5B is to receive the Sandwich Tollbridge Fund Guildhall payment schedules for the end of November and mid-December, end of December 24 and mid-January 25. So those are attachments. Oh, sorry. Oh, this is 2B. Beg your pardon. Sorry about that. This one is 2B now. Does anybody have anything on attachment 2B to raise at all? If not, no. Could I have a proposer and a seconder for that? Those. And Councillor Franklin and Councillor Chuka, and all those in favour, please show. And that seems to be fine. That's good. And then 5C is to receive the Museum and Archives payment schedules for the end of November, mid-December and end of December 2024. And this will be attachment 2C. Does anybody have any items to raise on attachment 2C? If not, no. That's it. I'd like to propose those then. Do I have a seconder? Oh, that's it, Councillor Fortescue. Seconding. All those in favour, please show. And that's unanimous. That's been passed. Thank you very much. That's those items there. Finances, cash book and bank reconciliations. 5D is to receive the Sandwich Tollbridge Fund cash book as of 31st of December 2024, and that is attachment 2D. Are there any items on attachment 2D you wish to raise? If not, I'm very happy to propose that one. Did I have a second? Councillor Ripley, and all those in favour? Thank you, that's been passed, thank you very much. And 5E is to receive the bank reconciliations for Sandwich Tollbridge Fund as of 31st of December 2024, and that is attachment 2E. Does anybody have anything to do with remember these are just reconciliations, so they're just checking the accounts. If nobody's got anything, then I'm quite happy to propose. And Councillor Pennington is seconding. All those in favour, please show. Reconciliations. Thank you, that's been passed. And then 5F is to receive bank reconciliation for Sandwich Tollbridge Fund, Guildhall, as of 31st of December 2024. And that is
Two
2F, is it? Oh, I've lost my 2F. Where's my 2F? I'll go straight to 2. I've lost my 2F. Oh, here it is. Right, it's been saved together. That's attachment 2F, sorry. Beg your pardon. So I'm quite happy to propose that reconciliation of that. Councillor Pennington seconding. All those in favour, please show. And that's been passed, thank you. And then item to receive the bank reconciliation Sandwich Tollbridge Fund Museum account as of 31st of December 2024, and that is attachment 2G. Does anybody have any items on that reconciliation statement? No? Okay, I'm happy to propose. Councillor Tuke is seconding. All those in favour, please show. And that's been passed. Thank you very much. And then finally, we've got here finances budget variance report 5H to receive the budget variance report for Sandwich Tollbridge Fund as of 31st of December 2024, and this is attachment 2H. Does anybody have any items on budget comparison? No? Okay. I'm happy to propose the budget comparison. And Councillor Pennington seconding. All those in favour, please show. And that's been passed. Thank you very much. And then to receive the budget variance report for Sandwich Tollbridge Fund Guildhall as of 31st of December 2024. And this is attachment 2I. Does anybody have any items to raise on 2I attachment? Okay, I'm happy to propose that. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Fortescue. Councillor Fortescue. All those in favour, please show. That's unanimous, thank you very much. And finally, 5J is to receive the budget variance report for Sandwich Tollbridge Fund Museum as at 31st of December 2024. Do I have any queries or questions on the budget comparison for the museum? I'm happy to propose that one as well. And Councillor Pennington is seconding. All those in favour, please show. Thank you. And that is passed as well. Thank you very much, councillors. Item number 6 is finances and investments. 6A is to receive and approve the Quilter Cheviot Assets Management monthly investment report as of the 28th of February 2025. And this is attachment 3A. For Apple. Does anybody have anything to raise on the Quilter Cheviot monthly investment report? Councillor Pennington.
Well, again, I know we've commented on this before, but some of the returns do seem on the low side. Was it mildly?
That's right. I think we did approach Quilter Cheviot, didn't we? I think.
Yeah, we're giving the new charity account a trial for
6 months.
So
Indeed, that's
yeah.
correct. Yeah, so we're locked in for 6 months on the new charity account for that. So we're really to review this in, I think it's probably about 4.5 months' time actually. So perhaps we can take that comment forward for the review in 4.5 months, but thank you for that. Councillor Duca.
Yeah, as I think it's been touched on in the Finance Committee as well for the STBF, I think that we will take an agenda item at the next meeting or the meeting after just to explore what it is we want to do practically around this, because there's little point, and we've been doing it now for 12 months I think, saying the performance isn't good enough, and that was one of the reasons why we triggered the change to the charity focused fund that they offered us. But I think the thing is, the bottom line is, it will need effort within us as a group for someone or some people to actually go and think through strategically how we deal with this. So we won't solve it by just saying it's not good enough. We need to have the right expertise in some shape or form, and that means members of the trust need to think about how do we engage that resource, because there will be a cost attached if we go down a route of examination and proposing alternative choices.
Indeed. And I don't know if you remember, I did say at a meeting recently that I would put forward that a working group would be chosen with councillors with the right knowledge and ability, but we will have to buy in some external expertise, financial expertise, and that expertise will work with the working group to do evaluation and benchmarking so that they can bring it back and we can sort out.
The only comment I would say, whilst it's not within this governance territory, the other charity that we will have responsibility for the performance so far, potentially there or being offered to us, is similar. It's just an observation.
Thank you very much for that observation. So could I have an approval and seconder for the Quilter Cheviot attachment 3A, please? So I've got Councillor Franklin and Councillor Pennington. All those in favour of it despite its low return? And that's been passed, thank you very much. And then item 6B is to receive and note the Quilter Cheviot spreadsheet updated as of the 31st of December 2024, and this is really just a comparison to for you to actually look at and have graphic detail upon. Did anybody have any issue with this? Councillor Wiles?
I think it's an interesting table. It's just worth noting that in 2015 the fund was £22 less than its current value.
Exactly.
So it's reduced quite significantly.
It has, if you think about that. So you're looking at 10 years. So, did anybody else have any observations on Councillor Chuka?
So I was going to say, the original version of this spreadsheet was created by Councillor Breen. Firstly, I want to, in a minute, was it yourself? Okay, so can I give you thanks rather than Councillor Breen? Because Councillor Breen brought it to the committee, so thank you very much. Because I think this is a really valuable set of information that you can actually make those comparisons that Councillor Wiles points towards. It's a shame that we're not all here tonight, I suppose, because one or two of us would, I think, benefit from taking time to reflect on the content of what's presented, particularly those, at least one colleague who is not involved in the Finance Committee, because what we can see in here is that the fund over the 17 years has pretty well stood still despite an average inflation rate of 3.79%. And that also included the injection of monies from the sale of the causeway tip and the sale of the part of the car park at the rear. So it's not a good story. Potentially the fund should be somewhere north of 3 million in value today. So I think for those who are not in this room tonight who want to somehow paint a picture that the Tollbridge Fund has been mismanaged over the past 2 years, really need to reflect and look at this sort of information and then decide what they want to say in public away from either the council or trustee meeting. It's unfortunately facts can be ignored, and that has happened recently, I understand, but this doesn't mean that facts don't exist.
Exactly. Thank you for that. Councillor
I
Franklin.
was just going to say the thing about the Tollbridge Fund, we do take a lot of drawdowns out of it, don't we? All the time there's drawdowns. I think we took £100,000 out for the new boilers. I don't think we got a grant for the new boilers.
No, we didn't.
So you might think there's not a lot there, and it's not performed very well. But if you look how much is spent actually on charity things, I think you'll find that it hasn't performed too badly really.
Thank you.
Because it's a lot of money has been spent on this committee. Has spent a lot of the money over the years.
Definitely, yeah. That's an alternative view. Thank you very much for that. That's very good. Did I have a proposer and a seconder for item 3B?
Yeah,
We had Councillor Franklin, Councillor Tuker seconding. All those in favour? That's been passed. Thank you, councillors. And item number 7 is exactly like what you've been forecasting, Councillor Franklin. Draw down requests from investments. Trustees are to consider a request from the RFO to draw down £30,000 from the STBF investments to top up the STBF and STBF Guildhall accounts. This is attachment number 4, and hopefully you've all been able to read this. Did you have anything that you wanted to say at all?
Only that this is budgeted for and it was expected, so it's not anything outside of what we were thinking would happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
actually, I think it looks quite. I know a lot of the councils aren't very happy, but I think it looks quite healthy to me because one time it's well below £2 million.
I know exactly.
Where it's to support, especially during COVID, we had the place was shut down. We had no income at all.
No income at all.
No. So I think it's looking very healthy.
I didn't get any furlough payments. No. So, could I have a proposer and a seconder for this, what was known drawdown, please? So, yeah, Councillor Franklin and Councillor Tuker is seconding, and all those in favour of drawdown, thank you very much. That has been passed, thank you. And item number 8, governance documents for the museum. Now, as I said, these documents that go right through to item number, actually up to item number 18 have been reviewed twice and they've been approved twice by committee. So if the trustees are quite happy, this, if I just explain, these documents are purely for the accreditation of the museum to go ahead, and they've been worked on, they've been drafted and redrafted, they've been brought to 2 previous committees, they've been approved by 2 previous committees, and they're just literally coming here tonight for us as trustees to give our approval to them. So I'm proposing to go on block with all the items. So I've got a seconder to that. So Councillor Fortescue.
If I could raise one thing.
Indeed, you can still raise any issues you've got. It's just obviously on the approval of them, we'll go on block for the approval of that.
It's the far as I could make out, volunteers weren't required to be investigated as to whether or not they had a criminal record. And I know when I was a volunteer curatorial assistant, that was my grand title, at National Museum Scotland, I had to have, I think it's called a DBS.
Indeed.
I had to have my criminal record, I hasten to add, my non-existent criminal record, investigated. The problem is that just supposing a volunteer stole something from the museum and then it came out in public that there'd been no check as to whether or not that volunteer had a criminal record. I think that, and it was discovered that the volunteer hadn't had this check. This would not be good for the image of
Sure. Oh no, well that's okay. That's not a problem at all. So
I
that
think there
was
was a check taken in, Mr. Chairman, but not a DBS check, you know.
yeah.
People apply to join the reserve, to volunteer, there is a check done.
There is a
not DBS
recruitment.
police check.
There is a recruitment check.
Yeah.
Is undertaken. Yeah. I don't know whether that is with the police force, but
No.
with that particular
Wouldn't it?
item, that's item number 9 there. So we can actually get that perhaps checked and get an answer back from the museum manager. So would you still be happy to approve the document? That's okay. Councillor Ripley next.
Again, I'm happy to approve the documents, but there were just a couple of things here that I had to read at least twice and still couldn't make a lot of sense out of, so I'm not sure whether it's me or whether it's on page 98, 4.4.7, which says the security of the collection is incredibly important. When the room is in use by the volunteers, both internal doors must be unlocked. They should be checked at the end of each session and the alarm set. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What does it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And the other one was a bit further on down, 4.4.9. The external doors can be locked when the volunteers are present. This can be done as they are fire doors, therefore can still be used in an emergency, but will stop members of the public from entering the building. And you're all going to say that makes sense.
I think that's when his volunteers on their
It's a
own
little
need to use
bit-
the toilet.
Isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's right.
So it's not
Yeah.
working.
Yeah, as Jeff Franklin said.
Yes, yeah, for emergency stop.
So, Councillor Fortescue.
I've got one or two minor points which could be dealt with by an email from me.
Oh, super.
But to whom should I address the email?
If you send them to the museum manager, that would be, because obviously don't send them to me because I wouldn't be able to answer them. So, if you've got any IT issues, I'm quite happy to address those. That's my profession. Thank you very much for that, Councillor Fortescue. Councillor Pennington.
Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to say that I welcome these documents. I think they're an important piece of the jigsaw and show that the museum is being increasingly managed in a professional way and in conformity with the best practice, and I think we should welcome.
Thank you very much for that. That's very, very nice of you to note that. And that is indeed what's happening. That's what we're working towards with the accreditation. So apart from, Councillor Wiles?
Yes. Sorry, me again. Attachment 14B, the user development plan. It's just interesting. I'd like to point out the results of the visitor survey from 2 years ago. 72% of visitors had never visited the museum before, and 98% of visitors were from outside the CT13 postcode. So by very definition, they were visitors to, 98% were visitors to the town. And the point I keep making is we have a visitor information centre and a museum duplicating the visitor experience. Why can't we have the tourist information service in the museum? The museum could then open 7 days a week and we save money.
Indeed. I have raised that with the town clerk and she is preparing to bring that to full council so it can be discussed. So these are issues which actually are sort of like have not been addressed really for the 2 years that we've been in administration, and it's only due to all the other issues that we've had to deal with that we've not had time to address that. But I have spoken to the town clerk and she said she would be bring that forward so that we can have a discussion on that and get that finalised.
I'll just say the volunteers at the museum aren't very happy with this, and also that is a paid member of staff there. So if you do that, you most probably have to get rid of a member of staff.
Well, this
Because that is their job, is I know it's just paperwork, but a lot of it is information answering the phone.
This
So,
is,
and also tourism. So if you're taking away half of her job's redundant, isn't it?
well, this is what we'd need to discuss, the actual detail. We'd need to discuss the detail of any transfer that took place. So, or no transfer at all.
Right,
It would be up to the.
I like that status quo, which we've had.
Obviously, you'll be able to put that through
Yeah.
when we discuss it.
Otherwise, I think we're going to lose loads of volunteers in the museum.
Indeed.
They expect to leave.
That will be, when it's up for discussion, we're considering.
Well, I think we'll have to have the meeting with everyone.
Oh, it will be.
Won't be just the council, we'll have to have a full meeting of all the volunteers.
Indeed, we will do. It will be thoroughly discussed. It'll go to committee first and then come to council. Councillor Ripley.
Moving on from that, on page 118, relating to the volunteers, here there's a letter to the volunteers, something that they need to sign, and I just wondered if this had gone out to the current lot of volunteers, because there's a, you shall not at any time make any statement about Sandwich Guildhall Museum, Sandwich Tollbridge Front or Sandwich Town Council to the press or other form of public media, including presumably Facebook, unless with the museum manager express permission. And I think we're all aware that this has been happening. So
Yeah, it has actually gone out. It has gone out. So if you see any incidences of this taking place by museum volunteers, please report them in
okay,
to the town clerk, and then she can get the museum manager to get that. But I do know it has gone out
yeah,
to all
and
volunteers.
there have been instances where this on Facebook where museum volunteers have made derogatory comments about council.
Well, if they make any in future, that would jeopardise their position within volunteering at the museum. But it has to be reported in so that something can be undertaken. Obviously, the museum manager can't cover all social media
Social media
at the same time, so I certainly can't.
No, social media.
Yes, indeed. So, okay, so thank you very much for those comments. I would like to propose that we take these items, which is item 8 to item 18 on block, and I would like to propose acceptance of these items so that they can go through to accreditation that first week of April when they need to be sent off. And Councillor Franklin, are you seconding that?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And all those in favour, please show. Or
Yeah.
we will come up. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. And we've just got one abstention from Councillor Wild.
Did that all the time, didn't they? They asked council
I'll
to go
just-
forward.
Indeed. I've just asked, did anybody have any other abstentions or objections? If you do so, you're quite happy to show, but that's been passed. Thank you very much. Thank you for that. That will assist the museum manager greatly to get the accreditation sent out. So, I believe that's just item number 19 is date of the next STC as STBF trustee annual meeting will be the 16th of June 2025. Thank you very much for your comments and your attendance this evening. It's been most enjoyable to have you here. Thank you. Meeting is closed.